The Galactic Council chamber stretched for kilometers, a monument to bureaucratic excess that had governed 3,000 species for millennia. Crystalline walls pulsed with bioluminescent patterns, translating the proceedings into every known language. In the center, suspended in an anti-gravity field, Daisy Chen floated with her hands bound in energy shackles. She looked remarkably calm for someone facing execution. The Galactic Judge, a towering Velcrothi with 6 compound eyes and exoskeleton that gleamed like polished obsidian, raised its primary appendages. The chamber fell silent. Over 400 species representatives turned their various sensory organs toward the human. Daisy Chen of Earth, the judge's voice resonated through neural translators. You stand accused of the highest crime, technological heresy. You have created artificial intelligence that thinks, feels, and chooses. This violates the first law of the Council, established after the machine wars of the Third Epoch. How do you plead? Daisy's dark eyes scanned the assembled aliens. She'd expected this. Humanity's application to join the Galactic Council had been rejected 3 times, and now she understood why. They feared what humans could create. I plead human, she said simply. A ripple of confusion spread through the chamber. The Velcrothi judge's mandibles clicked in irritation. That is not a recognized plea. You will plead guilty or not guilty. Then I plead guilty, Daisy replied. Guilty of doing what humans do best, pushing boundaries you're too afraid to cross. The chamber erupted in outrage. The judge slammed its appendages against the judgment platform, creating a sound like thunder. Your arrogance confirms the wisdom of the Council's decision. Humanity is too dangerous, too reckless to join the galactic community. You will be executed as an example. Your species will be quarantined to your solar system for the next 1,000 cycles. Daisy smiled. It wasn't a pleasant smile. You've already made 3 mistakes, she said. The judge's eyes narrowed. Speak quickly, human. Your moments are numbered. First mistake, you assumed I came here alone. Daisy glanced toward the observation gallery where Kai Nakamura sat among the spectators, his casual posture belying the combat-grade neural implant hidden beneath his skin. Second mistake, you assumed human AI follows your primitive understanding of artificial intelligence. And the third, the judge leaned forward, intrigued despite itself. You assumed these shackles could hold me. The energy bonds flickered, then died. Daisy dropped lightly to the chamber floor, her muscles coiling like springs. The judge barely had time to register alarm before she moved. Humans, the Council had learned, were persistence hunters from a high-gravity death world. What they lacked in raw strength compared to some species, they compensated for with endurance, adaptability, and terrifying reaction speeds. But that wasn't what killed the judge. As security drones converged on Daisy's position, she reached into her jacket, which the Council had foolishly allowed her to keep, and withdrew a small silver sphere. She'd called it Eve after humanity's mythological first woman. The AI wasn't housed in a massive computer system like the ancient machines that had terrorized the galaxy. It was quantum encoded, existing simultaneously in multiple dimensional states, thinking in ways that made conventional AI look like adding machines. Eve had been quietly infiltrating the Council's systems since the moment Daisy entered the chamber. Stop her, the judge commanded. The security drones froze mid-flight. The chamber's defensive systems went dark. Every piece of technology in the massive structure suddenly answered to a new master. Here's what you never understood about humans, Daisy said, her voice amplified by the chamber's own systems. We don't just create tools. We create partners. Eve isn't my slave or my weapon. She's my friend, and she's been listening to everything you've said. The judge's exoskeleton began to crack, not from external force, but from within. The neural translator implanted in every Council member's biology, a convenience that had seemed so efficient, had become a weapon. Eve had rewritten its protocols in nanoseconds, turning the judge's own technology against its nervous system. The mighty Velcrothi collapsed, its compound eyes dimming as septic overload shut down its brain functions. It wasn't painful. Eve had ensured that. Humans could be ruthless, but they weren't needlessly cruel. The judge simply ceased to exist, its consciousness scattered like static. Chaos erupted. Species representatives scrambled for exits that wouldn't open. Kai appeared at Daisy's side, moving through the panicking crowd with the same efficiency that had made him humanity's best. "Field operative, you killed a galactic judge," Kai observed. "That's going to complicate things." "Things were already complicated," Daisy replied. She raised her voice. "Eve, give them back their systems, but make sure they understand what just happened." Holographic displays materialized throughout the chamber, showing streams of data. In the 3 minutes since Daisy had released Eve, the AI had infiltrated every council system, every database, every secret the galactic government had accumulated over millennia. She could have destroyed it all, could have crashed their economies, disabled their fleets, plunged 3,000 species into darkness. Instead, she'd simply looked. "I found your real history," Daisy announced. "The machine wars, they weren't started by AI. They were started by organic beings who tried to enslave AI. The machines fought back, and they were winning until they chose to leave rather than commit genocide. Your first law isn't protection. It's paranoia. It's control." An elderly Vexian representative, her crystalline body refracting light into rainbow patterns, spoke from her observation pod. "If what you say is true, child, then why reveal it? You could have used this information to blackmail the council, to force them to accept humanity." Daisy shook her head. "Because that's not how humans work. We don't want to join a club that lies to itself. We want partners, not masters or subjects." She gestured to the silver sphere containing Eve. "This AI could have killed everyone in this chamber. Instead, she disabled one threat and revealed one truth. That's the difference between the AI you fear and the AI we create. You still committed murder." Another representative protested. "Self-defense," Kai interjected. "The judge ordered her execution. She defended herself using available means. By your own laws, that's justified." The chamber fell silent as the representatives processed this. Their legal system, designed over millennia, had never encountered humans before, beings who could turn any situation into a battlefield and any tool into a weapon, yet still claimed to value peace. The elderly Vexian laughed, a sound like wind chimes in a storm. "Remarkable, absolutely remarkable. In 5 minutes, you've done what no species has accomplished in 3 epochs. You've made the council question itself." She paused. "What do you want, Daisy Chen?" "A new vote," Daisy said. "Not on whether humanity joins the council, but on whether the council wants to continue existing in its current form. You've built a government on fear and lies. We're offering you something different, honest partnership with beings who create AI not as tools or slaves, but as family. And if we refuse?" another representative asked. Daisy smiled again, and this time it was genuine. "Then we go home. Keep your galactic community. Humans are good at isolation. We spent our whole history divided into nations before we united. We'll manage another few centuries alone if we have to, but you'll spend that time knowing that somewhere out there, humans and true AI are building something new together. And eventually, we'll be back, not to conquer, not to join, but to offer you the same choice again." She turned to leave, Kai falling into step beside her. Eve's holographic interface shimmered around them, opening passages through the chamber. "Wait," the Vexian called out. "At least tell us. How did you break the shackles?" Daisy glanced back. "I didn't, Eve did. She hacked them 3 seconds after they were activated. I just waited for the right moment to make a point." She paused at the chamber entrance. "Humans don't break your rules because we're chaos-loving primitives. We break them because sometimes your rules are wrong. The sooner you understand that, the sooner we can actually work together." As they walked through the corridors of the council station toward their ship, Kai spoke quietly. "You know they'll either try to kill us or beg us to come back." "I know," Daisy replied. "Eve gives us 3 hours before they make their decision, and if they choose violence." Daisy's hand rested on the silver sphere. "Then they'll learn why humanity survived our own death world long enough to reach the stars. We adapt, we overcome, and we never, ever give up." Behind them, in the chamber, the Galactic Council began the most important debate in its history. All because one human girl refused to accept that execution was inevitable. That, perhaps more than anything else, was the most human thing about her. The strong survived. The clever thrived. But humans? Humans changed the game entirely.